It's been a while. Not sure if I even remember how to do this anymore. Well, it's been an interesting year. The last video that I posted was about my helicopter trip. But I never intended for that to be the last video for this channel. I really wanted this channel to keep going. I'm not going to say I didn't have the time, because I was laid off all last winter, actually with an injured back. I jacked up my back in October, and it took me about 3 months before I was able to walk normally again. So it was not a great winter for me. But it would not have been difficult to spend a little bit of time sitting at a desk working on a model. Problem is, I've never really had the facilities in my apartment to do that. It just never really was the right kind of space. I never had a hobby room that was really well set up. I had to, if I was going to do any airbrushing, it had to be on the porch. It had to be when there wasn't any wind. And where I lived, finding a day with no wind was very difficult. So I just kind of gave up on the hobby for a long time. It was around the same time, you know, I just kind of realized I'm not very good at doing like toy reviews, and I didn't really have anything to talk about besides that. So channel just kind of sat there not doing anything for a long time. But you may notice that I'm not in the same room where I've been shooting my videos for the last couple of years. I moved. For the last 3 years I've been living in Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta, which is one of the suburbs of Edmonton. I've moved into the city. I got rid of my apartment and I bought a house. Big step. Real big step. It's something I've been thinking about for a long time. My dad's been bugging me for 3 years, pretty much since I came out here, to really consider settling down, buying a place. I toyed with the idea of buying a condo, maybe a duplex, but this perfect little house came up. It's an older house, it's a real fixer-upper, especially the basement, and I've been working on it, and I've had some help working on it. I don't know if you can hear the noise going on out there in the other room, but my girlfriend has moved in with me. She's futzing around in the kitchen at the moment. Between the two of us and my parents, who've been in town since yesterday, they still live back in Victoria, they're just here for the weekend, we've been doing what we can to get the basement renovated in such a way that we can open it up and rent it. Because we definitely need to get some tenants in here, and the sooner the better. Because I cannot afford to live here without getting renters in here. Like I said, it's an older house. I think it was built in the 50s, not sure when exactly, but it's a nice, cute little spot. 2 bedrooms upstairs, 2 bedrooms downstairs, detached 2-car garage, nice little yard. It's well landscaped. But the best part, the part that had me sold, the part that had me most excited, there's a shed. Big shed. It's about 7 feet by 13 feet inside. And I'm going to turn that sumbitch into a model building studio. Always wanted to have that. Always wanted to have like a real dedicated work area where I could just build and paint, and would have space where I could display my stuff, and it was just my own space. Like, in my condo back in Victoria, my hobby room was kind of like that, but it was still part of the condo. I had to be careful about like overspray, and my exhaust fan wasn't great, and any long-time modeler, any modeler worth his salt knows that you do not want to build models in a room with carpet, especially if you're working with really small parts, because parts just vanish. You drop a little piece of photo etch, you're never seeing that thing again. You know, unless you have a magnet. If you're working with plastic pieces that small, oh, you're never going to see it again. I can't even begin to tell you how many little pieces that I've spent hours on my hands and knees just digging around for. But that's not going to be a problem, because I'm going to have a shed with probably just plywood floors. I might put linoleum or tile in there someday, but for now it's just going to be plywood. It's, like I said, it's about 13 feet long by 7 feet wide. So I'm going to have room on the one wall, on the east wall, which has the windows. I'm going to have shelving, so I can display finished models on top. I'll have shelves where I can put models in boxes. I'm going to build a complete workbench along the west wall that's going to wrap around the side. It's going to be about, I'd say, 10 feet long. Maybe 9 feet long, I forget, I don't remember the exact measurements. But from that wall, it's going to curve toward the door. It's going to be kind of an L shape. And on that end, I'm probably going to have, you know, a laptop, TV, maybe a DVD Blu-ray player or something. So that I'll have media out there. And my new Wi-Fi router here works like a hot damn. I still get 3 bars worth of signal on my phone out in the shed, which is probably 40 feet from where the router is. So I'm really excited about that. But you know, it's a big step. It's a really big step. I mean, I've owned a condo for 13 years. But a condo isn't a house. A house has a lot of upkeep. I had to buy a lawnmower yesterday. I haven't mowed a lawn. I don't think I have enough fingers to count how long it's been since I've mowed a lawn. And it was only ever at my parents' house. And my dad has always had a ride-on mower. I've never mowed the lawn with a push mower before. That was an experience. Took me the better part of an hour. Probably in no small part because the previous owners, before they moved out, well, they didn't mow the lawn for about 3 weeks, and we've been here for a week already, and I didn't have a mower. I wasn't able to pick one up until just yesterday. So, in places the lawn was really thick and about a foot long. So, it took a long time. For the first time around, I was bagging. Just because it's so thick. I didn't want it. It would have just laid a carpet of dead grass on the lawn. So I wanted to bag it and collect it, and we're gonna compost it. But I had to empty that bag probably 9 or 10 times. So yeah, it was pretty exhausting by the end of it. So it's gonna be at least every 2 weeks kind of a thing. Probably every week for most of the summer. But it's a good mower. It was on sale. I'm pretty happy with it. It's a little gas mower. We were toying with the idea of getting an electric, but this one, I found it on sale and I'm like, I can't pass it up. Other than that, we're just working on the basement. There's a wall that's got to come down. We've actually got it mostly knocked out. And we've got to rebuild it because we got to move a door. And the whole wall was just... It was garbage. There was a electric fireplace with like a hearth built into it, and it looked really tacky. So we had to get that out. We have to rebuild that wall. We have to build a subfloor in part of the basement. We had to get a huge deep freezer out of there. Ugh. I think probably way more than I do. Then we have to build another little wall. So right now, the wall that we had to take out is basically gone. We just got to do a little bit more work on one side of it. Then we got to clean it up, and then we got to rebuild it. So that's going to be probably this week's project to get done. Because if we can get it done this week, get the subfloor in, get the basement all ready, if we can get an ad in the paper or in Kijiji or whatever this week for renters looking for like July 15th or something, then that's outstanding. If we can get people in then I'll be really excited. But we'll see. But yes, I'm going to have a shed and a workspace and a garage. My girlfriend's really excited because she's really into handyman, handywoman, handy person work, whatever you want to call it. She loves designing and building and breaking stuff, and she had so much fun with a big hammer knocking that wall down. Chopped it up with a reciprocating saw. She's had to do a little bit of plumbing, a little bit of electrical. This is all stuff she's been fascinated by and has done research about for years. And this is the first chance she's ever really had to play around doing it. So she's really excited and really happy about it, and I'm happy for her. But it's going to be a long road to get this place fully rigged up as it is. We've been here for a week. We moved in on Saturday. We spent our first night here Saturday night last week. Still got a ton of stuff at my apartment. Got to clean all that out yet. Got to get carpet cleaners there. Got to finish vacuuming. Got to do this. Got to do that. Ugh, it's going to be a pain in the ass. We got to unpack here yet. There's so much stuff in the living room still to unpack. And then we got to sort out everything in the garage, which is full to capacity, and admittedly it's mostly my stuff. There's a couple of things in there that are going to go downstairs in the basement. There's a sofa, there's an armoire, a couple other things. But for right now, it's a disaster. It's just a huge cluster of a mess. And it's at the moment it's just mostly being used for storage, as is my shed. But the shed is going to be an exciting project, and that is something that I am going to try to document the entire process. I'm going to do build up reviews, essentially, or build up progress days of me building my shed, which I'm going to do from scratch. There's styrofoam insulation in the walls. I'm going to tear all that out. I'm going to put in proper fiberglass insulation. There's a big shelving unit on the wall. I'm going to take that down. I might use it. I have a master plan for it, but I might use a different shelf that was set downstairs instead. I'm not sure, but I have a plan for it, and I'm very excited. And then I'm going to replace the floor, because I think there's a couple spots where the floor is just rotting out. There's a ratty old carpet on it right now that I can't wait to get out of there, just because it's disgusting, and I can't wait to see what's under it. Ugh, it's going to be frightening. But if we can get that subfloor out, get new subfloor laid, plywood as the flooring, build myself a bench, get some shelving, build those cabinets out the way I want to, I'm pretty stoked. This is going to be a pretty rad workspace. At least it will be during the 8-9 months out of the year when I can use it. The rest of the time is going to be too damn cold, because it's Alberta, 40 below. Well, it's Edmonton, so it doesn't really ever get below about minus 25, 30, but still. Can't leave paints, can't leave... Oh, I'm not even going to be able to leave models out there. They'll just freeze solid and shatter. But regardless, at least in the spring and summer, I'll be able to start working out there. And then eventually, if my financial situation improves to the point where we'll be able to afford to live here alone without renters, then that basement, getting completely gutted. That's a long-term project, though. That is a very long-term project. That's not anything I'm going to see happening for probably minimum 5 years. Probably more. That all depends on if I'm even still living here at that time. But we'll see. As it is, so far I like it. It's a good neighborhood. It's easy to get to work. I actually started a new job about 3 months ago. For the last 4 years I'd been working for the construction company. I was running a rock truck and learning how to run dozer. But because of my back injury I had to take a layoff, and because of the economic slowdown in Alberta, especially in the construction sector, there's just not any work doing that right now. I was counting on getting back to work in February, and I found out that the job that I was waiting for just wasn't happening. It might eventually. I think it got delayed until like June. But as it is for now, yeah, it's not happening right now. I think it might have finally just started, or it might be starting soon. I'm really not sure. I haven't talked to anybody, but I'm working for a bus company again. You know, long-term viewers will remember that I used to work for a charter bus company in Victoria. Now I'm working for a I'm not even sure what you would classify it as, but it's a bus company that it's a private bus company that provides a kind of transit service for employees out at a refinery under construction just north of Edmonton. I drive the on-site shuttle bus. It's essentially a white painted school bus. I'm there. My shift is 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. Easy as hell day. Aside from the getting up early part, it's the perfect job. You know, it doesn't take me long to get there. It doesn't take me long to get home. It's fun. You know, I like it. As far as jobs go, it's a good job and I like it. And if I can stick with it long term, then I will. We'll see what happens. But not much else to say. So do keep watching. I'm going to try to keep updating as the house comes together. I'm hoping that I will be able to get to work out in the shed before the end of July. If I can have it, if that can be my August project, I'll be happy. Because if we can get the house and the garage all finished up and outfitted before the end of July, and I can get working on the shed, then yeah, that's going to be outstanding. So I'm really excited about that. So thank you everyone out there for watching, and hopefully happy renovating. How about that?